A heart without a soul cannot beat. A heart that cannot beat turns to ice. The ice hides what once was until the soul comes calling again to awaken what lies beneath the frost.
Oh, man. All right. This is going to be Boston Thicket, giving this here a recap, huh?
Please, dear God,
you
no.
Fucking dumbass. That's right.
Scout TF2?
Thicket's from Boston now. Oh, what even did happen last time? Oh, God. Is that the music? Is there like a weird, like, droning music playing?
Yes.
Okay, Jesus, I thought my computer was like...
I literally thought someone was brushing their teeth in the other room, and I was really confused why that would have been going on for so long.
That's the Cloudvale theme.
Oh, I see.
You haven't heard it. So you've only ever heard it once before, so I'm not surprised you don't recognize it.
Yeah, in the last session, we got ourselves into a turf war. I believe we started off with Thicket trying to make himself useful, going out and helping pluck some frost coffee, when he was set upon by a moose. Now, he was joined by the person whose name I don't remember.
Yalnus.
That's their name. And so, he was joined by Yalnus, and the two of them, they went ahead and they did some fighting together. I kind of kneecapped a moose, but that's fine. I believe Wyatt also got caught up into this lie even further that he was already in, that Thicket sort of pushed him into.
Yep. But they know that I'm just lying. I'm suing for time, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Well, you missed a few pieces there, like Wyatt losing the end of his finger.
Oh, that's right.
To a magic orb in the shaman's tent. And after, driving off the moose, Thicket and Yalnus met with a Nuntan, who arrived and said that Chief Bravewalker wanted to speak to Thicket. And, of course... Chief Brokath of the Sabretooth was not a huge fan of this, but agreed that both parties should meet along with Thicket and Wyatt, so that Thicket can make an informed decision on whose side he will join. So right now, Thicket and Wyatt and Cranberry are standing in the middle between the Sabretooth, which currently their force consists of Brokath, Yalnus, and 3 Sabretooth hunters, all handpicked by Yalnus themselves, as well as 3 Nontan, including Chief Bravewalker, and 2 very tall, muscular RNA with large swords. I wasn't able to show you an image of them last time, so why don't I show you an image now? That's what these guys look like. Imagine that, 8.5 to 9 feet tall. Big old sword made of bone. And while Thicket and Wyatt were sort of deliberating what to do, I believe, if I remember correctly, Thicket, you weren't entirely feeling the Nontan, if I remember correctly. I don't remember which side you were leaning towards, but I feel like you were either leaning you were leaning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I was leaning Nonton. I was having my Prince Zuko moment.
you were leaning towards the Nontan.
Right, yeah.
Your
Because
Prince Zuko.
Well, your Prince Zuko
Yeah.
moment would be leaning towards the Sabretooth.
would it though? Because
Because the Nontan are your people.
Exactly, right.
So leaning
I'm
towards
talking
the
about, like,
Sabretooth.
Which phase of Prince Zuko
So-
are we going with for this moment?
I'm talking end of season 2, Crossroads of Destiny, where Zuko had undergone all that development. He learned so much about the other side, and then at a critical moment, he went back to his original side. Thicket learned so much about the Sabretooth Raiders, learned a lot about, hey, maybe the Nonton can't entirely be trusted. But now presented with the opportunity is looking back at the Nonton.
I see. And of course,
That-
during
that-
all
so
of
that's
this...
yeah.
Yes, thank you. Good explanation. I had forgotten about Crossroads of Destiny. It's been a long time since I watched Avatar. During this whole deliberation process, poof! Out of nowhere, out of a flash of light, comes Governor Elizabeth Cloudveil, backed by a whole mess of soldiers. She tries to make her bid that you should join her, to which she was met with a prompt "fuck you." And of course, there was also a chance meeting with Jean-Tic Lamatimo himself, who did his thing, sort of putting into perspective that there are 4 options here: the Nuntan, the Sabretooth, the Cloudveils, or nobody. And as time unpaused, I believe specifically where we last left off, Wyatt had poured out a bottle of his City of Ships rum, and Elizabeth Cloudveil said, "If violence is what you want, then violence is what you will get." And so, that is where we begin, with Elizabeth Cloudveil snapping her fingers, and the 9 soldiers behind her turn into 20.
Oh!
I should have picked someone who was a real good runner to go back to camp.
So here we are on the scene of battle.
No.
It is time for us to enter initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Now, something I will note, there's a couple of little mechanics involved in this fight.
Oh no.
So number 1, for Yalnus,
Yeah, hi.
you are in charge of these 3 hunters, Krimkis, Kriker,
God.
and Drika. All you need to do is give them an order, and they are technically your minions, so they get 2 actions each on each of your turns to execute whatever orders you have given to the best of their ability. You don't need to know their stat blocks or anything, just tell them what to do.
Okay.
But also, when it comes to these Cloudveil soldiers, each of these 10 soldier blocks counts technically as one entity, one targetable troop. So they will act all on their own. Each of these 10 soldier blocks has its own set of 3 actions, and stays in that block, has their own health pool, and attacks on their own and all that. So you don't have to say,
So
"Oh, I
the
want to
pool
take this
has-
specific one," but you just say, "I want to target the soldiers," and whatever you use will target the soldiers as a whole. But it does mean that solo target effects won't be as useful. Does that
Can you
all
give
make
an
sense?
example of that?
Okay, so excuse me. I also, just so you're all aware, I am currently ill, so I'm a little stuffy.
Oh no.
So things like troops are typically immune to non-damaging effects that target a single creature, such as Charm or the Demoralize action. but an ability that can target 5 or more creatures can target an entire segment, which in this case is up to 4. So a segment is a 10 by 10 section, so 2 by 2. 4 soldiers equals 1 segment, basically. But anything that can target 10 or more creatures can target 2 segments, and if it can target 20 or more creatures, it can affect the entire troop. Does that all make enough sense?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll adjudicate
Sort
further
of?
as needed. So let me just roll all of these initiatives.
Moly.
Did I roll my initiative yet? I forgot.
You did not,
Okay, time to do
and
it.
neither is Thicket.
I've been too distracted.
Let me also roll out your hero point cards.
Oh, I forgot we need. Oh, fuck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right, your hero cards
I do stand
have
by
been
the
dealt.
fact that I am very glad that Bastion is not here and does not have to participate in the decision making. This gets to be a squarely you guys' problem.
Yep.
So
We're gonna handle it, don't worry.
here we are at the top of round 1 with Elizabeth Cloudvale and Wyatt's Foundry doing that thing. Hold on a sec.
Telling us whose turn it is an initiative.
I don't want it to do that because we already know. There we go. All right. Elizabeth Cloudvale summons into her hand, out of glowing light, a massive, runed great sword of adamantine. Just a note, she's not even wearing armor or anything. She's just now this late middle-aged woman with a big-ass sword. And something you would notice is that there is a strange symbol etched onto this this weapon, one of these runes. So why don't you all make a religion check for me real quick?
Oh, great.
They go great for my non-religious saber-tooth gal.
Okay, 33.
I know vague things about religion. 18.
I'm the most God's damned religious person on this planet.
So, this this symbol, all of you except for Yalnus. Actually, no, never mind. Wyatt, you're the only one who recognizes this. Yalnus and
okay.
Thicket, Thicket, not only can you not see it, but Yalnus, you've got no idea what this is. This icon is of a tall humanoid wearing golden plate armor. Looks like almost an entirely gold humanoid figure with a massive sword in one hand and a whip in the other. Wyatt, you recognize this as the holy symbol of Habitus, god of tyranny, slavery, and control.
Oh, that's Habitus. That's the god of fucking slavery.
great.
Is halibut?
Halibut, yup. God of slavery. That's all I know. And tyranny, too. Fuck, she actually really is evil.
So that was one action to summon the weapon. And action number 2 is going to be spent casting as she summons forth, glowing from this symbol on the sword, just this burst of flaming golden light. So I need a fortitude save from Thicket, Wyatt, and Cranberry. So I think that should just be... Oh, and actually, Chief Bravewalker will also be caught in this. So actually, why don't we have MMA's pick a d20 for us?
Well, not MMA's picking a d20.
Cranberry got age
Yeah.
27.
MMA's, what would you like to pick?
Let's pick 1.
1. Okay. 1. Excellent. So, Bravewalker It's going to succeed critically. So, Thicket, what did you get?
I got a 25.
25. That is... I hate to tell you this. That is a critical failure. Wyatt, what did you get?
Oh my gosh!
I'm
I
sorry.
got a 22.
Did you a 25 is a critical failure?
Yes, it is.
Fail? Did you just say that?
So
Oh
Wyatt
my
also crit
God.
fails. What did Cranberry get?
Chad, is this real? Also a critical.
Man.
He got a 27 actually.
That is just a regular failure. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
So, Brave Walker seems unaffected by this golden flame. Wyatt and Thicket and Cranberry. I need to pull out some dice.
I don't like this.
Oh, we're so dead.
Horrible news.
These are coming in the wrong spots.
Turn 1 TPK.
That would be hilarious.
All right, let's see. So, we have a total of... Those are not the correct dice. Once again, Cameron, can you organize your goddamn dice correctly?
Yeah. Cam, those D6s actually need to be D4s. Just tell
Where
you.
are these? How did I manage to mess this up so bad? There we go. All right. So, that is going to be a lovely, lovely total of, if I can do some math,
Don't take out your calculator. If you
27 points of damage to Wyatt, Thicket, and Cranberry. Additionally, Cranberry is sickened 1. Wyatt and Thicket are both sickened 2 and slowed 1.
Oh, fuck.
Damn.
Well, that-
As you are blasted with this divine wrath.
Oh,
And how much damage did we all take?
27.
27, right? Okay. We just got. Okay.
Yes. So,
Ouchie.
that is Elizabeth's
Yeah,
turn.
that hurt.
That brings us now to Chief Bravewalker, who is going to start out by moving at moving. He does in fact move at an unbelievable speed. Actually, Wyatt and Yalnus, mostly Yalnus, you notice this as you look at him. It's almost as if his arm moves in two separate places. Like, it's almost as if he suddenly has two arms moving in separate directions as he reaches out and taps one of the Nantan next to him, who then also begins to flutter and begins to vibrate as he becomes quickened. Bravewalker is then going to where am I looking? Okay. Is then going to send out a dazing burst towards Elizabeth, who needs to make a will save. Critically fails her will save.
Oh.
So she's going to be stunned 1 and is going to take double damage. So that is going to be 24 points of damage, which definitely surprises her, it seems, but barely seems to have much of an effect beyond that. That is the end of her turn. That brings us now to the quickened Arane Mauler, who is going to run forwards towards this line of infantry, or this wall, really, of infantry, and is going to attempt to make a swing with their longsword. That is a failure. Gonna then go for a strike with their spiked gauntlet, which is a success. Actually, a critical success. So that's going to be... Let's see. Okay. 15 times 2, 30 points of damage as this guy just dashes forward and immediately just sweeps through. Just sweeps through 3 of these soldiers at once. Oh, I didn't mean to delete them. Sorry. They're supposed to be dead. 3 of these soldiers just instantly decapitated. That will bring us then to... Oh, right, he's quickened. He gets a whole nother action. He's then going to go for another strike with his spike gauntlet. That one is very much a miss, though. That brings us now to Chief Brokath, who's going to turn to you, Yalnus, and say, "It is on you, my child. Lead our people. I must deal with this small one." And he's then going to just going to hunt prey, marking Elizabeth as his target. Is then going to make a hunter's aim action to fire his shield bow. That is a nat 1 for Chief Brokath.
Oh no!
Great
Wait, hold on.
start.
I have a thing for this. Do
Are
I?
you-
Do I have a? I have this. Do I have the luck one? Does that work for this? No, it's not a check or a saving throw. Never mind.
It's not. So, critical fumble card number 31. That is a ranged attack. Archer's elbow. Until healed, you take a -2 penalty to ranged attacks. So not only does that miss, but Yalnus, it seems that in his relatively old age, your father has hurt his elbow with the massive draw strength of his bow. That is the end of his first turn.
That's bad news.
That brings us now... Oh, Kriker is not supposed to have his own initiative. Neither are either of them. Alright, that brings us now to Thicket.
Okay, and so I'm down to 2 actions now, correct?
Correct. You have 2 actions, and you are sickened 2.
Okay.
Let me double check how
Yes.
long that slowed lasts. While you are sickened, you are also slowed. So once you are no longer sickened, you will no longer be slowed.
I see, okay. So, what I am going to... God damn it, I had a 3-action move that I wanted to start this off with. You bastard. Okay. In that case, I guess I'm going to do a 2-action act together.
Okay.
Gonna start off with Thicket casting Oaken Resilience on
Okay.
Cranberry.
So what does that do again?
Gains resistance 2 to bludgeoning and piercing and weakness 3 to fire.
Amazing.
And then as part of that, Cranberry is, I guess, going to stride over... Yeah.
Okay. Cranberry strides over to behind the quickened RNA Mauler. That brings us now to Yalnus.
Okay. How do you want to go about this?
Well, you can use one of your actions to command your people, or you can use individual actions to command different soldiers.
Okay. I am going to command all 3 of them to attack this upper flank.
Give the order.
I don't know how to...
Just say it. Say it.
I know.
With
I
the
just don't know which
words.
position... Attack the top flank.
Okay. All right, then. So they will then take their 2 actions. Krimkiss will move over to here, along with Drika. They will move over to there, and they will both attack with their slings. So let me go ahead and just roll those quick. So it is a 22 and a 29. Excuse me, the 22 does not hit, but the 29 does. So that is going to deal damage. 7 points of damage. Okay. 7 points of damage. So one of the soldiers gets clocked in the head and falls. Kriker is then going to use his 2 actions to move over to right there. And then over to right there. Alright, Yalnus, you have 2 actions remaining.
2 actions remaining, okay. I'm gonna start by trying to shoot at our lovely Elizabeth Cloudvale.
Excellent.
Yes.
With your
Love her.
striking composite longbow.
That would be the one. That is a 31 to hit.
31, that just barely hits. So as the arrow just flies through the air, it grazes across her shoulder. Roll damage.
I love that for us. That is 13 points of damage.
13
What's the
points
sparkly?
of
Oh,
damage.
that's force.
13 points of damage to Elizabeth Cloudvale. All right. That arrow has grazed her shoulder, and she looks very displeased.
And then, using my last action, I am going to move here.
Okay. You've moved over there. That brings us now to this line infantry, which is going to start out with a bolt salvo, which is a 10-foot burst. They are going to aim for... They're going to aim for Wyatt and Thicket with this.
Oh, great.
So I need reflex saves from both of you.
I'm not meant for this. Oh, fuck. I failed this, right?
Or am I? Oh,
I
that's
fail
not too
this?
bad.
So what did you
Did I
get?
fail it with a 16?
16, that is definitely a fail, and 26 is a success.
I will... Do I have my reroll still? Let me see. That's a check, right?
That was a saving throw.
Saving throw. I'll take it. I'll take this.
Okay. So, in that case, Wyatt will take full damage, Thicket will take half. So Wyatt, you take 15 points of damage, Thicket, you take 7.
2 points of damage. Okay.
That is the end of that infantry's turn.
Ouch.
That brings us now
I'm
to the
winded. I'm
other
winded.
our named Mauler, who's going to take his first action to stride up to there, second action to stride over to there, and third action to go for a swing with a longsword. That's a nat 20.
Oh.
And he is higher level. So that is going to be card number 44 with slashing. Gut slash. Target takes 1d4 bleed, and any creature it swallows whole is immediately released. So that's... I don't even know how that would really apply to this. So that's fine. I'm just gonna roll
Legion of
damage.
soldiers just vomits you back out.
All right. So that's gonna be how much damage? 18 points of slashing damage, and I'm just gonna roll the bleed as additional damage on top of that. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna roll the bleed as additional on top of that. So that's gonna be 2 additional points of damage for a total of 20 points of damage to this line infantry, which means that they are now down to only 3 segments as these soldiers are killed. That brings us now to Wyatt.
I got 2 actions, so I'm sick in 1, right? Or
You're sick in 2.
I have 1 action.
So you have 2 actions because you're slowed
Okay.
1, sickened 2. But
Okay,
you are
okay,
only
okay, I have
slowed
2
until you are no
Sorry.
longer sickened.
Wyatt, I figure his personality is gonna do something really bad. So tell me again, the old Liz, she takes double damage because of her condition right now?
Huh?
Does she, or she's just sick? What is she?
She's stunned.
Stunned,
So she just
okay.
loses an action next turn.
Oh, damn it. Okay. I apologize. I'm blanking out so badly, but single target attacks will on a column will attack multiple of these columns, right?
Yeah, that'll
just
attack the
one
whole.
column.
That'll
Okay.
attack the whole troop.
Okay, got it. All right, let's open it up with a little bit of a fun fig as she whips out the good old I forgot the god's name.
Habitus.
Habitus. Damn it, Colby, you got my halibut thing stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
Yeah. As she pulls it out, I'm trying not to puke. I'm gonna like, taste the sun, bitch, and I'm gonna cast Searing Light on her.
Okay.
Or at least try to. At level 3. Let's see.
All right. What does that require?
an
Is that
attack-
an attack roll for you? Okay.
Attack roll with -2. Oh, I better fucking roll great on this. Did I roll it? Wait, hold on. There it is. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna hero point that. 'cause
Okay.
That's such shit. Alright, that's -1 hero point. I'm gonna reroll that attack.
Oh,
Alright,
that's
I
worse.
fucking quit this. I quit this entire
That
campaign.
is a 14.
14 does not hit.
That aggressively does not hit. That is in fact a what spell is that again? Fear the Sun or no.
Searing Light.
Searing Light. That is that is aggressively not a hit.
Yeah, that's not a hit. It just goes careening off.
You say, "Fear the sun, bitch!" And as this bolt of sunlight flies from your hand, Elizabeth turns towards you, turns the flat of her blade, and the sunlight just gets absorbed into the symbol of Habitus.
Yeah. You'll fear the next one.
That brings
That's my
us
turn,
now
that's
to
2
the
actions.
other line infantry, which is going to use Clash of Steel to go all in at Kriker. So Kriker needs to make a reflex save. Kriker fails said reflex save and is going to take a large amount of damage. Kriker takes 21 points of damage and is immediately down to bloodied. That brings us around at the top of round 2 with Elizabeth, who is going to okay. You
I don't like this.
you watch as the sword begins to vibrate right after absorbing Wyatt's attack. begins to vibrate and sends out this pulse right back at Wyatt. I need you to make a fortitude save as you are hit by this sonic wave.
Oh! Fortitude save? Are
Yes,
you
sir.
kidding me right now? Okay, I could have rolled worse. 27.
That is a failure, not a critical failure, but a regular failure.
Okay.
So you are going to take full damage, in addition, and you are also now deafened for one round. So let's see. Let's go ahead and roll that full damage, shall we? 8d6 sonic damage. You take 24 points of sonic damage.
Oh my gosh, I am mortal right now.
Yes, you are. Well, technically
Holy moly.
bloodied, because we're doing like 10% is mortal now, because
Oh.
you're bloody. Regardless, you're really not doing so great!
I'm not doing so hot right now. Ow.
And that is her turn because she was stunned. So that brings us now to Chief Bravewalker, who is going to start out by lightning fast moving over to behind you, Wyatt. He is then going to reach around to your wound, one of your wounds from that initial blaze of divine fire, and is going to smear some sort of paste across it. This is going to allow him to attempt to treat wounds on you.
Oh, okay.
That is a success. So Wyatt, you regain 12 hit points.
12 hit points. I'll take it.
And that is Bravewalker's turn. That brings us now to the quickened Mauler, if he's still quickened. I don't actually... It is not quickened anymore. So this Mauler is going to now take their normal turn, starting out by taking a stride over towards Elizabeth, and is going to go for a longsword strike on Elizabeth. That is a 28, which is a miss, followed by a spike gauntlet, which is a 21, also a miss. That is the end of that Mauler's turn. Chief Brokath is up. Brokath is going to attempt another Hunter's Aim strike on Elizabeth with his -2 penalty to attack rolls with his bow. That is going to be a 30 to hit, which does just barely hit. So Brokath is going to manage to pull off. Oh, I should also note, Drinkin, the shaman, is nowhere to be seen.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
He's nowhere to be seen since the start of this battle. Alright, so she's going to take 22 points of piercing damage from that arrow. And he's then going to move over towards the rest of you. That brings us now to Thicket.
Okay.
Oh, there's Cranberry. There we go. All right, you have 2 actions.
So that's going to be a 2-action act together, where
Okay.
Thicket is going to cast haste on Cranberry.
Okay.
So now Cranberry is quickened, and then Cranberry's half of the act together is going to be a stride up here.
Okay. All right.
And then, just one sec. I'm just gonna double check something. Okay, yeah. Cranberry is now going to use his action to only strike and stride. I see. Okay, I guess fucking punch.
Okay.
Elizabeth in her stupid goddamn face.
Okay.
And that is... I don't know what that is. The dice stopped rolling. I'm gonna
It's in
re-roll
chat.
that.
It's in chat. I see it. You got a 23.
Oh, I don't. Oh, 23, I guess.
Do you have the regular chat open? Because you need to have the specific chat open and scroll all the way down.
I do have it open. I can see that I cast haste. I'm gonna reload Foundry.
Because I remember you were having this problem last week, too.
Yeah. It's
the case.
weird. It's weird because, like, I can see, like, some of the stuff that I am doing, but that, for whatever reason, just didn't register. Weird. Anyways, that's a 23.
23 was a miss.
Son of a bitch.
Oh crap.
That brings us now to Yalnus.
Do I need to give a new command, or will they follow the original?
They will follow the original command.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and use United Assault.
Okay.
So it basically says that a strike that I make gains a bonus to damage rolls equal to the number of other creatures that have damaged a target since the end of the last turn, to a max of +4.
Okay.
So, should I end up hitting, what's her bucket?
Elizabeth?
Yep, that's the one. I would like to use that.
Okay. Alright, so that would be a plus... I think that would only be a +1 bonus. Because she's
Leads
only
to
been...
damage.
Yeah, +1 bonus to damage, because she's only been hit by Brokath. So yeah, go ahead and roll to hit.
Well, that's a 20.
That is unfortunately a miss.
What horrible news. I'm gonna try and shoot her again.
Okay.
Oh.
Oof, nat
I'm gonna hero
one.
point that.
Okay.
It ain't live from dice
Damn.
for no reason.
This
You're
has been
having
a,
some
this has
bad
been a
luck.
bad turn.
You're
Bad
having
turn.
some real
Okay.
bad luck.
Well, I have one action remaining, so just give me a second to remove my arrows, and then I'm gonna move for my last action.
Okay.
Go. That is my turn.
Okay. And I will now roll the attacks for your soldiers. So Trika gets a 15 and a 21, neither of which hit the line infantry. Krimkis gets a 21 and a 21, neither of which hit. Kriker is going to go for 2 attacks with his claw blades. Is going to get a 13 and a 12, neither of which will hit.
Oh my god,
wait,
my
what?
people are going to die. All
That
of my
brings
people
us
are going to
now
die.
to the line infantry here, down below. They are going to go for a clash of steel, which will... if I'm reading this correctly, yeah, that'll get, I'm a little confused about how this works, so I'm just going to say this is only going to target both of the maulers, so both of them need to make reflex saves. So we'll start with the one over by Cranberry, who gets a nat 1, and then the other one gets a 17. So both of those fail. One of them is a critical fail. It's going to be double damage to the top one, full damage to the lower one. So the top one takes 17 points of damage. Barely seems to really be scratched. Wait, sorry, it's supposed to be doubled, so takes another 17 points of damage there. Lower one takes just the 17. Alright. That is the end of the line infantry's turn. That brings us now to this RNA Mauler, who is going to go for a longsword attack. That is a 19 miss. Gonna go for a spike gauntlet attack. That is a dirty 20 miss. Is going to go for another gauntlet attack. That is a 27 hit. So that is going to be 28 points of damage to this line infantry. He just, with one strike, manages to wipe out an entire section of 4 soldiers, just clocking them into each other.
Wow.
This is the only man who is at all effective on the battlefield.
That brings us now to Wyatt. 2 actions, and you are deafened.
2 actions.
Your ears are ringing.
Do I know if I... Okay. This is a bad fucking idea, but what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna use my doctor's visitation. So
Okay.
I can stride, and then instead of using okay, hold on. Stride and then use second action to treat condition. I'm gonna try and get Cranberry back up to full, to full unsickness. I'm gonna stride my 25 feet.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sense action, and I'm gonna treat a condition. I'm gonna try and treat his sickened condition.
Okay.
Okay. Medicine modifier is your counteract modifier.
So hold on a second. So treat condition.
Yes.
All right.
Wow,
So
medic doing his medic dedication.
Counteracting is a whole weird system that I don't entirely understand.
I should know this.
No, it's all right. We never use countering because it's
Medicine modifier
kind
is
of
your
dumb.
counteract modifier.
Counteract. Counteracting. Here we go. So, when attempting a counteract check, add the relevant skill modifier or other appropriate modifier to your check against the target's DC. If you're counteracting an affliction, the DC is in the affliction stat block. If it's a spell, so this would be a spell. So yeah, you're basically making a medicine check against Elizabeth's spell DC.
Alright, then I'll make a medicine check against Elizabeth's spell DC.
Godspeed.
I'm going to actually use my halfling. This is a check, right?
Yes.
Yes. Can I finally fucking use this?
Yes.
Did I fail that check?
Yes. Critically.
Yes. Critically. Let me just redo that real quick. With my halfling luck. So let me burn that out.
You accidentally make him sicker.
That is what critical failure would do.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So let me try and undo that. Give me at least like I rolled the exact same fucking thing.
Oh my god.
This is not even a joke.
So Cranberry
anymore.
is now sickened 2.
No!
As
what?
you somehow, Wyatt, you don't know how, but you managed to make this elemental even sicker.
It's the fucking Soul of Frost! Fuck this thing!
Yeah, Cranberry's like red, fiery glow turns a very slight shade of green.
So Wyatt, I believe that was 2 actions, so that is your turn,
That
if
was
I'm
2
correct.
actions. That is my turn,
All right,
yes.
that brings us now to the other line infantry. They are going to go for a bolt salvo, which will target Thicket, Brokath, and Bravewalker. So I need a reflex save from Thicket, please.
Oh, geez, Lois. 22.
22. Okay, that is a success. Critical success from Brokath and critical success from Bravewalker. So neither of them will take any damage from these bolts as they dodge out of the way. Thicket, on the other hand, you are in fact going to take half damage with your success, as you manage to block a few of these bolts. So you are going to take 7 points of piercing damage as crossbow bolts thunk down around you.
That's 7 points of piercing?
Yes. That brings us
Ouch.
around to the top of round 3 with Elizabeth Cloudvale, who is going to... Holy shit.
Oh no.
Holy shit.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So, she is going to reach out towards Brokath and say, "Getting real tired of your nonsense. Your scalp will be on my mantle by the day's end." As you watch Wyatt in horror, and also Yalnus in horror, as you see Brokath's soul begin to get ripped from his body. So he needs to make a fortitude save.
What?
Yeah, Elizabeth is fuck off powerful. He gets a 32, which is a failure. So he is going to take full damage from a 2-action version of this spell, which will be a full 10d6 void damage.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
Brokath takes 36 points of damage, and you know what? He's not even bloodied. Brokath is basically fine. He is,
At least there's that.
however, drained 1. Because Brokath and Bravewalker are also fuck off powerful.
Someone should be.
Elizabeth is then going to use her final action to... You watch as this energy seems to flow from Brokath's body into Elizabeth as she speeds up. You watch as her muscles all tense. And she moves very quickly with a stride. Right up over next to Brokath. And that is the end of her turn. That brings us now to Bravewalker, who is going to... he is going to put a hand on your shoulder, Thicket, and say, "Time is on your side if I say it is." You are now quickened as you feel your body vibrating through time.
I'm quickened and slowed!
For your next turn, you are quickened. Quickened counteracts slowed. If I remember correctly. Let me just really quickly read. Does not say, but I think quickened and slowed counteract each other. So you would now have 3 actions on your next turn.
Okay, word.
Bravewalker is then going to take an action to stride around to flank Elizabeth alongside Brokath, and is going to make a strike with his double-bladed dueling spear. That is going to be a 34 to hit, which is a hit against her. So that is going to be 34 points of piercing damage against Elizabeth Cloudvale. She's still not bloodied. That is Bravewalker's turn. That brings us now to the RNA Mauler over here, who is going to go ahead and start out with a longsword strike against this line infantry here. That is a 19 hit, which is not a hit, followed by a spike gauntlet, That's 17. And followed by another spike gauntlet that is a 25. So the 25 hits. Gonna go for roll damage there. That is 18 points of damage, which is enough. As this RNA just swings with the sword, misses, goes for a swing with his gauntlet, gets a glancing blow on the soldier in front of him, is then gonna go for an intense gut punch right into the soldier in front of him, which splits the dude in half, sending both halves of him down both columns, killing all 7 of them.
Oh,
Good God.
oh my goodness. The horror.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think we have to worry about these guys, actually.
Hey guys, yeah, we're good. We'll just focus on ourselves.
That brings us now to Chief Brokath, who is going to go into a one-handed grip on his bow in order to make a bladed gauntlet strike at Elizabeth. That is going to be a 36 to hit, which is a hit. That is going to be 18 points of damage to Elizabeth Clavel, who is now bloodied.
Oh.
He's then going to go for a skirmish strike in order to make another bladed gauntlet strike on Elizabeth. There's a 33, which is a hit, so he's going to deal damage. It's going to be 12 points of damage to Elizabeth, and he's then going to step back towards Thicket and is going to end off his turn, is going to say, "You see, this is what you have to deal with. This is the fight." That brings us now to Thicket.
Oh boy, okay.
You have 3 actions this turn.
I do. So is Elizabeth still flanked, technically?
She is not flanked.
Son of a bitch. Okay. I was gonna do a cool AoE thing on the guys over here, but they're kind of not an issue. So instead, what I'm going to do is a single action act together, where Thicket is going to point over at Elizabeth. He's going to shout, "You will feel the wrath of the Nonton for your discretions." And that's going to be a demoralize attempt.
I see.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead and roll your intimidation.
That's a 21. I'm willing to hero point that.
21 is a failure.
Wait, before I do that, actually, I want to see what my card is real quick.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'll hero point that.
Okay.
Useless.
This card is useless. 27.
27 is also a failure.
Fuck!
Oh, I was gonna say, there are no
This
useless
bitch.
cards in my grandpa's deck, Kaiba.
These goddamn DCs. Well, then that's going to be a one of these for his half of that. So now Cranberry has 2 actions remaining. He's going to attempt to disarm Elizabeth.
Okay.
Oh.
And so that's going to be an athletics check from Cranberry
Yes.
for 28.
28. And what DC is that against again? It is against
Her, I believe-
reflex DC.
Yep, reflex.
And sorry, what did you roll again? 28?
Yes.
That is unfortunately a failure. That is...
All right.
Yeah, unfortunately... Wait, hold on. 28. Never mind. Nope. Yeah, no, that's just a failure. Yep, sorry. I can't do math. Regular failure.
No, you're all good. Okay, and then last action, I guess, Thicket is going to cast Guidance on Cranberry.
Okay. Cranberry is now guided. It is the end of Thicket's turn. That brings us now to Yalnus.
Okay. Illness is going to go ahead and shoot at the resident pain in our ass. That is a 27.
27 does not hit.
She's going to try and shoot again.
Okay.
And that's 26.
26 also does
Okay.
not hit.
Horrifying news. I'm gonna try and shoot at the flock of soldiers.
Okay.
Well, that didn't work.
13 unfortunately does not hit. So your people are then going to take their actions. So 20 miss. 18 miss. 19 miss. 18 miss.
Friggin' no!
And then we have 25 hit.
Ooh, okay.
And 25 hit. 2 hits from Kriker.
Thank God someone's able to do something.
It's going to be 12 points of damage. Which is going to be enough. Kriker just slashes the throats of 2 Cloudvale soldiers. That brings us now to the remaining RNA Mauler, who's going to stride up. As one action, is going to make a longsword strike. That is a 33, which is definitely a hit. 27 points of damage, which is enough to knock out an entire section of 4.
Oh my gosh. She should have brought more dudes.
And he's then going to make a gauntlet attack. That is a 19 miss. Alright, that is the end of his turn. That brings us now to Wyatt Hyena Barrel.
Remind me of the chief's name again. I completely slipping my mind.
Which one? There's 2 chiefs.
The Saber 2.
Brokath.
Brokaw. As I'm deafened and I'm on my knees, I'm trying to puke. I open my hand towards him, and I'm literally gonna cast my Enrage. Oh, please tell me Enrage. Oh, easy. I'm gonna scream out, "Yeah, let him beat your ass, you furry bastard! Just stand and fight!" And I'm gonna cast Soothe on him.
Okay.
So, so he gets 1d10 hit points. Does he have stamina technically?
No.
Okay.
You guys are
alright,
the only ones with stamina.
All right, got it. But he gets how much healing? Let's find out. Oh, it's pretty shit. Oh, well, he gets 7 points of healing.
7 points
Well,
of healing.
also getting a +2 status bonus against mental effects for the next, how long is this? For the next 1 minute. So, is he willing though to receive this?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's casted. All right, perfect. I have 2 actions, so yeah, that's it. That's my turn.
Okay. Lovely. And that is going to bring us to the line infantry here. They are going to start out by changing their formation real quick to absorb this guy into their ranks a little bit more cleanly. They're then going to lay into Kriker with a Clash of Steel. So Kriker needs to make a reflex save. Kriker pretty miserably fails that reflex save. Not a critical fail, but still pretty bad fail. That's going to be 16 points of damage. Kriker is dead.
No.
Oh.
Rip Krika.
That is the end of the line infantry's turn. Top of round 4, we have Elizabeth Cloudvale once again.
Oh gosh, someone's gonna die.
So. She is going to say, "This is getting very tiring," and send out a 30-foot burst of dark energy around her. So that is going to require a saving throw, a will save, or sorry, not will, fortitude save, from Drika, Bravewalker, Cranberry, Brokath, and Thicket. Wyatt, you are just barely out of reach.
Oh my gosh, I just missed this.
Uh-oh.
Brokath gets a critical success. So does Brave Walker just gets a regular success, so he will take damage. What did you get, Thicket?
Remind me which save that was?
Fortitude.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh, nat 20. Critical success, so you take no damage. You just completely block this negative energy.
I am unsaved. I mean, I'm unfazed.
Unscathed.
There it is.
So let's see, that's gonna be, let's see, how much? Holy shit. That's going to be... Holy shit. 6d8 damage to Brave Walker. I'm missing a d8. Where's my other d8?
No,
Who stole my
missing
D8?
it.
Who stole my d8?
I
actually
I
don't know
hate
where
it.
his
Perez,
d8
he's
is.
in your wool.
Probably, honestly, yeah. I wouldn't put that past him at all. So that is going to be... let's see. 10, 18, 21, 28. 28 divided by 2 is 14. 14 points of damage to Brave Walker, who is barely scathed. That is not everything she can do, however, as she is then going to, as that burst of energy blasts out, takes slight hold on Brave Walker. Elizabeth then just puts her hand into a fist and pulls down onto the ground as Brave Walker is pulled towards the ground, taking a 10-foot penalty to his speed.
Ooh.
That brings us now to Brave Walker, who is going to first and foremost is also Thicket. You are no longer quickened. Excuse me. Is going to cause time to slow around him, and more specifically around Elizabeth, as he sort of pushes the field of slowed time. So Elizabeth needs to make a fortitude save. and is going to get a... Let's just roll this here. That is a 37, which is a success. So she is slowed 1 for 1 round. Brave Walker now has 1 action remaining. He is going to then bespell his weapon, which just shimmers with the energy of pure time as he goes for a dueling spear strike on Elizabeth. That is a 31, which is just barely a hit on Elizabeth, who is going to react as she does take damage from this, throwing up her blade with an unbelievable amount of strength for someone of her stature, taking... Okay. Taking only... Let's just do that. And then... that. Okay, there we go. Taking only that much damage. She is still bloodied. That is the end of Brave Walker's turn. That brings us now to the RNA Mauler over here, who is going to stride on over to the line infantry and is going to make a... He's just gonna make 2 spike gauntlet strikes. 33 and 32. Both of those will hit, not critically. 25 and 22 points of damage respectively, for a total of 47 points of damage as he just sweeps through and kills all but the last 2 of these soldiers.
Guys, I'm so glad we did not side against any one of these 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that we were in the first place,
That
but
brings
like,
us
you know,
now
Wyatt
to
has a
Brokath.
nice moment of faith. Like, you know what, that was a good idea. Good on me, right? Good on us, right? Good on our team.
That brings us now to Brokath, who is going to attempt to strike with his bow at Elizabeth, taking first action to go back to a 2-handed grip, and second action to make second and third action to make a hunter's aim strike against Elizabeth. That is a 32, which is a hit, so he's going to do damage. It is going to be 20 points of damage to Elizabeth. All right. That brings us now to Thicket.
All right. Gonna start with a 2-action. Actually, no, a 1-action act together.
Okay. I was gonna say you only have 2 actions this turn, anyways. So.
Yep. So Thicket is going to cast Boost Eidolon on Cranberry. Get that
Okay.
Eidolon boosted. We also should have guidance immunity now. Cranberry is going to use his part of that to step.
Okay. So Elizabeth is now flanked.
Yep. And then Cranberry is hasted, so he should have 2 actions remaining.
How long does that haste last?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Goddamn. Okay.
Hang on, let me just double check that. I
So
know. I
you
know that
do.
it's like
It's weird because you do
1 minute.
share an action pool. So
right.
I don't remember how Quicken affects the both of you.
It would only affect Cranberry. So
Okay.
like we have a single action that we can share, but then Cranberry specifically gets an additional action.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So Cranberry has. So you have 1 collective action, and Cranberry has 1 action.
Yes. So Cranberry is going to use that collective action to attempt to Let's go with... Let's go with grapple, Elizabeth.
Okay. So I believe that's an athletics check against her fortitude DC?
Yes. Oof.
16. That is unfortunately a critical failure.
Aye.
So let me just double check what the critical failure effect is for grapple. Critical failure. If you already had the target grabbed or restrained, it breaks free. Your target can either grab you as if it succeeded, or it can force you to fall and land prone. She is going to force Cranberry to fall and land prone.
I see. Well, Cranberry still has one action remaining.
Which I believe has conditional uses.
Yes, either strike or stride. So he is going to attempt a strike.
Okay, from the ground.
Yes.
With
And that's
multiple
going to
attack
be using...
penalty.
Yes. Using his secondary attack. And I can't... I don't know what that was.
That was a 16.
I'm reloading Foundry again. Another son of a bitch.
That was not a hit. So that is the end of Thicket's turn. That brings us now to Yalnus.
Hey, Giannis is going to... Can you guess? Shoot at Elizabeth.
Okay.
That is a 29.
29 just barely misses.
Hate this woman. See, I feel like there should be something more that I can do, but I really... It's bows. I mean, I guess I could try and get in her face and bite her, but I have less to do with that, so... You know what? I'm gonna go into point blank stance.
Okay. What does that do?
Well, it makes it so that when I'm using a weapon with volley and I'm in the shorten range, it doesn't take the penalty. But if
Lovely.
I'm out of the first range, then it makes it so that I get a +2 circumstance bonus to damage, assuming I ever hit.
Lovely.
So, I guess I'm gonna try and shoot her again.
Okay. With your final action, you go for another strike.
Nope, that's a 16.
16, unfortunately, will not hit. Yalnus is having some very poor luck.
Yeah, this is not super hot.
This will now bring us to the other RNA Mauler, who's going to stride up and is going to go for a Spike Gauntlet Strike. That is a 24, which is in fact a hit. Just clocks one fist through both heads for 26 points of damage.
Are you sure? Omni-Man style? Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh.
And then going to use his final action to move over to there. That brings us now to Wyatt.
Oh no, I only have 2 actions still.
Correct.
If I have anything above 30 feet, I do not. I'm gonna try and heal. I don't. I keep forgetting the chief names. I'm sorry. I should write this down somewhere.
Brave Walker is Nantan. Brokath is
I'm gonna
Sabretooth.
get Brave Walker up. I'm gonna try and double action heal Brave Walker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's within range. 2 action heal Brave Walker. I'm gonna dip into my pot of heal for him. Let's see. Nice. Yes. So it's a 2-action heal versus the living. All right. That's gonna be. Let's see. Roll healing. Oh, this better be good.
Holy shit!
How much was that? It did show up in chat for me.
42.
He has 42 hit points.
Yeah, he's right back up to being unharmed.
Get back in there! Fuck her up!
Alright.
I also moral support them somehow.
That brings us to the top of round 5 with Elizabeth, who looks at the field of just dead soldiers, and all of the enemies surrounding her. It seems I underestimated you. A mistake I don't plan on making twice. We'll meet again. She snaps her fingers, and in a flash of blinding golden light, is gone.
Bitch.
And as she exits combat, that brings us to Brave Walker's turn. As everyone stands still, Brave Walker looks to you, Thicket, and says, "Well then, brother, our common enemy is defeated for now. I suppose that means it's time for you to choose." So everyone else is going to pass their turns as they look to you, Thicket. You have 6 words to respond as a free action, and then each additional action is an additional 6 words.
Oh, for fuck's... Okay.
Good luck!
And you must respond.
Hang on. I gotta write this all out.
Like it just goes still, like it's a T-Rex hunting him. If I can't see it, it can't see me. Well, he's blind, so I guess he can't see anyone.
Can I spend my free my skipped action to puke?
You haven't taken a skipped action.
I did, right? We all
Nope.
skipped it while he wait for the
Nope.
answer.
Nope, Thicket is before you.
Am I still slowed?
Yes.
Fuck. Okay.
Wait, I want to say, when you're slow, do you talk like very slowly, like in slow motion, or do you talk normally?
It's more that he's struggling to speak because he's constantly got vomit coming out of his mouth.
Oh, okay.
In this
that makes
case.
sense.
Yay!
Okay, this is the literal mob spaghetti moment.
So at this point, there are 3 choices: the RNA, the Sabretooth, or nobody.
Chief Brokath, I trust your words. But the Nontan are my family. And yet... I can't deny what I've heard.
So,
I guess that's my turn.
okay.
That's the first half of that thought.
Yalnus, what do? Nothing is an option.
Yeah, the answer is nothing. I'm gonna wait and see
Okay.
how my dad goes
Mauler
about
passes.
this.
Wyatt, your turn.
I'm gonna really quickly, I'm gonna take a stride over. And he's gonna run up to the next to Thicket, and he looks like he's about to say something, but he's gonna just puke. He's like,
Okay, go ahead and make a fortitude save.
fortitude. Wait, can he do a medicine check and treat his own condition?
You would need 2 actions to do that.
Can I do my own doctor's healing thing and stride and then treat my own action?
It does not.
I've never.
You know what? It does not specify that you have to treat another creature, so you could totally do Doctor's Visitation
So
on
I
yourself.
stride over next to Thicket. I stride next to Thicket and look about to say something, and I'm like, oh, can't do it, and I stick my hand up my mouth and gag reflex myself.
Okay, so go ahead and make a medicine check then.
Medicine check. I'm trying to help, but I don't think I'm helping. What was that? I can't see the dice.
27.
27.
That is a failure. You fail to make yourself properly vomit as just like reflux dribbles down your arm and freezes in the cold. You have one action remaining.
Wait, no, I'm slowed. That was 2 actions.
No, it wasn't. Doctor's
because
Visitation is 1 action.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. No, you can spend a second action to stride.
Yeah,
and then...
second action.
Okay,
So yeah,
sorry, I needed to read the whole thing.
Wyatt just had the greatest, like, most insane speech prepared that could just solve everybody's problem at this moment. Right? It's detailed about colonialism, modern day, like, love and care, and the fact that everybody at the end needs to come together and face a common enemy, but he's stuck there trying to puke his guts out.
And instead, he's got
turn.
frozen reflux on his arm.
Yeah.
That brings us around to the top of round 6 with Brave Walker, who looks to you, Thicket. I hope you know what you're trying to say. That brings us now to Brokath, who is still looking at you, Thicket, as well. As do I. Thicket, you're up.
Brave Walker's offer is everything I've wanted. And I want to trust my people. But my heart pulls towards me, old friend. As, Thicket, looks towards Brokath. Well, gazes towards Brokath.
Yes.
Points his nose towards Brokath.
Puts his empty eye sockets in the general direction of the chief.
Brave Walker lets out a deep sigh. Truly unfortunate. As he and the RNA maulers ready their weapons, Yalnus, it is your turn. They are readying to attack.
The fuck is wrong with these people? I'm gonna ready my bow to shoot at Brave Walker if they make the first attack.
Okay, so you're spending 2 actions to ready an action to fire at Brave Walker. If
Yes.
if the RNA attack.
Yes, and I'm gonna use my last action to command my 2 remaining soldiers to do the same.
Okay. That brings us now to the Maulers. The first of whom is going to rush over to Drika and make a spike gauntlet attack.
Great, so all 3 of us attack, right?
Yes. First, I want to execute this attack, though. There's a 33 to hit Drika, which is a critical success. So Drika will take 58 points of damage. I
Oh
will
my
allow
God.
your prepared actions to proc, though. So before Drika goes down, she will make a sling attack. Gets a nat 20! So that's going to
Rika's
be critical
going down
damage.
with a fight.
With the sling, 14 points of damage to this RNA in response to the 58, as this spike gauntlet just goes down through the top of Drika's head all the way nose to navel, all the way down. Drika
Well,
is
that
just
fucking
split
sucks.
in half.
Oh.
And then as his final action, this RNA is going to stride over to there. The other Mauler is then going to stride up towards Krimkus and is going to make a spike gauntlet attack. That is a 30 against Krimkus. Critical hit. Oh, right. Sorry. Krimkus and Yalnus also get their attacks now. So let me go ahead and roll those first. Or I'll roll for Krimkus, you roll for yourself, obviously. Krimkus horribly misses with a 15.
Yalnus also...
Yeah, 19
horribly
against
misses
Brave
with a
Walker
19.
does not hit. So damage against poor sweet Krimkus. That is going to be 46 points of damage as Krimkus just gets a massive hole punch straight through him and falls down dead.
Fuck Chief Brave Walker.
And he's then going to begin moving over in this direction, also seemingly running towards Yalnus. That brings us now to Wyatt.
Oh gosh. What should I do? He's gonna try and chat his way out of this. He's actually going to try and just for the sake of his intention, do his best and try and find a diplomatic solution to this completely unraveling clusterfuck. Shit. I'm trying to find any spells that can help me with this. Give me a minute, I'm sorry. Oh, fuck. Can he just spend an action and try and... What's he gonna spend an action to do? Was he actually to try and calm the situation? Like, convince? Seduce? No.
I would just say what you're gonna say, and I'll have you probably make an impression.
Wyatt is literally just gonna... He has his... I assume his... What does he have in his hand? Let me check. He has a wand of bless in his hand. It's like a glowing wand. And he's just gonna first and foremost just toss it away onto the snow.
Okay, free action
And
to
he's
drop
gonna
the wand.
yell out. Right, he's gonna yell out, "What the fuck are we doing right now? Do you not see this is what she fucking wants us to do? To fight each other, to kill each other while she takes it all? What are you idiots doing?" And he's gonna try and make an impression. as
Make a
best as he
diplomacy
can.
check.
Oh no. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a 0. It's a +0. Let's see. Fucking, it's a 12. Oh my god. I can't
Your
even
words
roll well
seem
now.
to fall on deaf ears.
Ah.
Have you watched the new Mission Impossible movie? Because that's kind of just what happens the entire time.
Is it
Ethan
good?
goes-
I need to watch it. I have
It's
a friend
fine,
who really...
But the
Okay.
entire time he's like, this is what it wants. It wants us fighting. And it's just that for like 2.5 hours. And then some action sequences.
Is it actually just Tom Cruise, like, just yelling at the camera? It just wants us to fight over and over and over again, and, like, that's it?
It's action sequences interspersed with him telling various people who don't trust him, it wants us to not trust each other. You have to trust me.
Honestly, that checks out considering how much I hated the previous Mission Impossible movie. So anyways, Wyatt, I'm gonna say you have one action remaining. Because I
have
liked
one
your
action
speech.
remaining. Thank you.
Well, you can either have one action or a hero point. I'll give that to you.
Can I burn that hero point and re-roll it?
No.
No.
So what do you want? One action or one hero point?
Wait. Can I pull Colby into the Whisper Zone? I need to ask player consent.
You can pull us all into the You can pull both me. Yeah,
we're
you can
all
pull
in the
Colby
Whisper
in.
Zone.
All right, I'll pull us all into the Whisper Zone.
Pull us all in the Whisper Zone.
All right.
Bye, Emma.
Okay.
What,
all right.
what am I? What am I
Would you-
consenting to?
Okay. Would you let me side with Brave Walker in this? Do you think that's appropriate for Wyatt? Because I think, given how he's been treated by these Sabretooth and how unreasonable they've been, Wyatt would most likely try and side with Brave Walker because he seems a more, I suppose, less or more bridge peace building type.
I don't know why you're asking me that.
No, because I will literally, because if that's the case, that's literally gonna put like extra drama, right, into Thicket and Wyatt's relationship.
I don't think that's a Colby decision. I think that's entirely a Yono decision.
But if it comes down to it, and I have to fight Thicket, would you let it happen? Would you want that to happen?
I'm open to it. I guess it's if that's the direction Cam is comfortable with taking it.
I'm fine with that. I was already prepared for this fight to lead to basically a split in 3 campaign, so I'm prepared for that.
Okay.
All right, back to General?
All right, back to General. All right.
Let us continue.
Jeez Louise, this is gonna be so bad.
So one action or one hero point. Yes.
I'm gonna try and I'm gonna cast I'm gonna cast guidance on I suppose in this situation I'm gonna have to cast guidance on Brave Walker for now.
Okay, you cast guidance on Brave Walker. Thicket, you feel divine energy leave your companion directly next to you and travel towards Brave Walker. That brings us now around to the top of round 7 with Brave Walker himself. I have seen through time. If I don't take the soul, we all lose. Brave Walker is then going to wave his hand across the ground in front of him, and you all watch as it's almost as if time just rapidly moves. You're not sure which direction it's moving in, as the snow seems to rapidly melt beneath you, and you can see like grass and mud beneath. I need Thicket, Cranberry, Brokath to all please all make will saves.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Brokath needs will save as well. So what did Cranberry and Thicket get?
Well, Thicket got a 15. And Cranberry got a 21.
Cranberry got a 21. Both of those are critical failures. And Brokath got a 33, which is a regular failure. So, on a failure, Thicket and Cranberry, you believe you're being sucked down into this mud beneath you. You take minus 10 foot penalties to your speeds, and you are immobilized. But this form of immobilization, you can use regular escape actions, but also at the end of your turn, you can attempt a will save to remove that immobilization. Brokath just takes the minus 10 to his speed. And that area of just altered time remains in place in that circle right there. That is going to be Brave Walker's turn. That brings us now to the first RNA Mauler, who's going to stride twice to get over next to Yalnus, and is going to swing at Yalnis with his longsword. That is a 22 to hit Yalnis.
Let's see. That does not hit.
All right. That will then bring us to Chief Brokath, who is going to move his 15 feet to get right up next to Bravewalker, and he's just gonna go for a slashing attack with his bladed gauntlet. Excuse me. That was a that's a 40 to hit Bravewalker, which is a critical success. So Bravewalker takes 35 points of slashing damage from that. And Brokath has one action remaining, which he's going to use to... oh, right. Well, yeah. I'm just gonna say he used an action to mark Brokath as or Bravewalker as his hunted prey. As he just shouts out, "You traitorous bastard!" That brings us to Thicket. You
Okay,
are currently immobilized.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with a single action act together. Thicket's going to attempt to retch.
Okay, go ahead and make a fortitude save.
$19.
That is unfortunately a failure. You are unable to retch.
And then, oh shit, Cranberry. I can't unprone Cranberry, can I?
That would be correct, as he's currently immobilized.
Shit. In that case, Cranberry is going to use... I'd like to retroactively make this a 2-action act together.
Sure, why not? Why not?
Because otherwise Cranberry can't do shit. So Cranberry is going to cast a spell.
I see.
He's going to cast Scatter Scree.
I see. Now,
right on top of
that
Brave
I
Walker.
believe is a. Let's see. Incapable of movement? Okay, so yeah, you are able to do that. So, why don't you go ahead and place that 10-foot line?
All right.
Because this is a lasting effect.
That is going to go... I forget. How do I change the orientation of the line? It's horizontal right now. How do I make it?
It is... Why? I swear to God, I've done this before.
Oh, there we go. That's how you do it. I see. So that's not quite how I want it.
That's...
The way that is
I get
there.
the picture. I get the picture.
The green squares. The green squares is what I
Yes. Yes.
And then...
All right. So that means that...
It is a basic reflex save from...
Basic reflex save from Bravewalker. All right. Bravewalker gets a 28.
And that is a success.
So half damage.
How much was that?
14.
All right, so that is 7 points of...
7 points of damage
Not what I wanted to do.
to Bravewalker.
And before I end my turn, Thicket is going to shout, "The Sabertooths are not the enemy. The one that just left is."
Okay. That will bring us now to Yalnis, who is face to face with a 9-foot tall mauler.
which can only go well.
Mhm.
They're gonna go ahead and try and shoot him in his stupid face.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 33.
That is a critical hit.
That's 41 points of damage.
41 points of damage to this Mauler, who is now severely injured as this arrow just straight in one side out the other, and blood just gushes out of this massive chest wound. You have 2 actions remaining.
I'm gonna try and get some distance between me and this feller.
As you attempt to move,
Oh, it has the tag of opportunity.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
Damn you, Cam.
the Mauler is going to follow at full speed. There is no escape from justice.
Even if I stride 2 times, he's just gonna...
Yeah, no, he's not going to be able to do that again. That's a reaction, so he can only do it once.
Okay.
Alright, so that is the end of your turn then. That brings us now to the other Mauler, who is going to move into a position to flank Brokoff as a step, and is then going to go for a longsword attack on Brokoff. That is a 33 to hit Brokoff, which is a definite hit. Brokoff takes 31 points of damage. And the Mauler is then going to attempt to grapple as their final action. This is going to be an athletics check against the target's Fortitude DC. Brokoff's Fortitude DC is that. It's a natural 1. So this Mauler is unable to grab. So Brokoff is going to, as this Mauler attempts to wrap their arms around Brokoff, Brokoff's just gonna whip his tail around and just trip this guy, who is now prone. That is the end of that Mauler's turn. That brings us now to Wyatt.
Oh, crap. I'm following. This is not good at all. Can I... Oh my gosh, this is absolutely fucking insane right now.
What would you like to do?
I had a plan, and now I regret taking a side.
You can always become a triple agent
I could
and
triple
defect
agent.
again.
I'm just... You would be really funny if I friggin' like heal Chief Brokoff right now. Just 2 action heals.
Whose side are you on?
I think Wyatt is just at this point just trying to keep everybody alive until everyone just kind of like runs out of energy and just like is forced to basically like, okay, we'll handle this later. Is that a thing in Pathfinder where like after 10 or 11
No.
rounds you're like, all right.
This
Can
goes
it
until
roll?
people decide
I hate
to
to
be
say
done.
it, bud, but I don't think that that's gonna work for you.
Yeah. Ugh. Can I take 2 rounds and just grab Thicket really quick and have a conversation with him? Can I burn my 2 rounds doing that?
You can do your 2 actions. You can do your 2 actions
Two
plus
actions,
your
2 actions,
free
yeah.
6 words. So
Yeah.
you've got a total of... Yeah. Yep, go ahead.
Thicket, fucking look at me right now. I mean, sorry. I mean, you get what I mean. Look. Oh, yeah, okay. Can't laugh at my own joke. Sorry. Thicket, you gotta look at me right now. They're all gonna try and fucking use us. We just gotta run. All right? We just gotta fucking run.
Am I allowed to respond?
Sure.
Can you? Yeah, please.
As a reaction, you get a brief response.
The Sabertooths might know about me past.
But we need to think about the future of Salter.
I'm gonna say that's all you get this turn.
Yup.
Top of round 8, we have Chief Bravewalker, who's going to start out by let's see. By blurring time around him. There are multiple forms of Bravewalker which are now concealing which one is true. Bravewalker is then going to use his final action to make a dueling spear strike on Brokoff. That is a 37, which is a hit, not a crit. That is going to be... That is going to be 37 points of damage to Brokoff. That is the end of Bravewalker's turn. That brings us to the RNA Mauler, who is going to use one action to move over to there, and action 2 to step right up next to Yelnus. Action 3 to make a Spike Gauntlet strike at Yelnus. That is a 29 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. Yelnus, from that attack, is going to take 25 points of piercing damage.
Not ideal.
That'll bring us now to Brokoff, who is going to... Let's see. Is going to... make a skirmish strike by, first and foremost, taking a step, then to get out of flanking, then make a shield, bladed gauntlets attack on Bravewalker. That is a 37, which is a firm and solid hit. So Bravewalker is going to take... Oh, right. Bravewalker's concealed. Okay, that's a nat 20 on the conceal check. So Bravewalker takes 15 points of damage. Brokoff is then going to take another action to parry with his shield bow to give himself a little bit of a boost to AC. That brings us down to Thicket.
Okay,
Who is still immobilized.
Yeah, question for you. How do I get out of that?
Right. You and Cranberry were supposed to make will saves at the end of your last turn. So why don't you go ahead and make those will saves right now?
Okie
And we'll
doke.
see where we're at.
So I got a 12,
Yeah, no.
and Cranberry got a 13. Wow.
Yeah, no.
Okay, Thicket is going... So, we're going to do a one-action act together here. Thicket's going to retch.
Okay. Fortitude save.
And I already know that's a failure. That's a
Yeah,
19.
no. 19 is not a success.
And Cranberry is also going to retch as part of that.
Okay.
And he got a 23.
23 is also not a success.
Okay, I have one action remaining.
What did fucking Elizabeth hit us with? Goodness gracious.
Really powerful, like, level... Hold on, what level was that spell?
Ugh.
That was a level 4 spell.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
We got hit with Ebola, guys. We
You
literally
crit
got hit
failed.
with Ebola.
You crit failed a level 4 spell.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So-
Okay.
Oh no.
And then Thicket's going to attempt to retch again for his final action.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. 16.
You guys are having
Wow.
some really rough luck here.
Yeah.
I'm deep into dice jail. And before I end my turn.
Yes, you guys both get will saves again, as well.
Oh yes. But before I end my turn, Thicket is going to shout to Wyatt, "Help me out of here!" What the
Oh my
fuck?
god. 14 is a fail
Oh.
for Thicket. And
Dirty
20 is a
20.
fail for
Cranberry.
Cranberry. Now that brings us to Yelnus.
Well, alrighty then. Gonna rinse and repeat, trying to shoot this buckaroo.
Alright.
That's a 27.
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. This Mauler is now bloodied.
Excellent. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of skedaddle 30
Okay.
feet.
Going to follow you 25 feet.
Skedaddle another 30 feet.
Okay. That is the end of your turn. That brings us now
Yep.
to the prone Mauler, who's going to take first action to stand, second action to make a longsword strike against Brokoff. That is a 28, which is a miss, followed by a spike gauntlet strike. That is a 27, also a miss. That brings us now to Wyatt. I should also know
Can
Wyatt
I-
is still deaf.
I'm still deafened. Oh my
Hold on.
gosh.
Actually, let me double
Wait.
check that. I don't remember exactly how long that's supposed to last.
Oh, please.
Let's see, that was painful vibrations. Okay, oh, you've been undeafened for a long while. Sorry,
Yeah, I'm
that was
fine.
only supposed to
We've
last
been
one
having
round.
conversations. It's okay. Thicket's in a bad spot. I'm gonna try and free him somehow. He's
Okay.
slowed. How can I unslow him?
You can't unslow him, but you could
I will-
possibly deimmobilize him by pulling him out of this weird time mire.
I grab his. I try and pull him out as best as I can.
Okay, Thicket, I would imagine
Wait,
you're
no,
willing.
wait. Do I? Wait, hold on. Do I have a? Oh no, do I have? If I had Bone Shaker, I could pull you out and deal damage to you and pull you out. But I don't have it on me. Yeah. Are you willing, Thicket, for me to pull you out?
I am willing, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I will try my best to drag your ass out of this.
So, I'm going to have you make an athletics check.
Me?
Yes, against Thicket's Fortitude DC, because this is a mental effect.
Whoa.
So you're really fighting against Thicket here, even though Thicket isn't intending you to fight.
I hope you have a terrible fortitude. Actually, I'm gonna do it, even though it's literally syphilis. Was it syphilis?
Syphilis?
Not
Sisyphus.
syphilis.
That's syphilis though. Sorry.
We know what
Greek
you're saying.
studies.
It's okay.
Yes, because I assume you're. I'll just say for the audience and everyone else for the comedic effect. It's. I assume you have a larger than plus 10 DC to your fortitude, right? Right, Thicket? Or
My fortitude DC?
yeah, your fortitude DC. It's above 20, right?
Yes.
Yes. Something funny right now. I'm rolling this with a -3 modifier, which means
my God.
I have a 5% chance of freeing you right now
You mean with a natural 20?
with a natural 20. Any other
I will
one,
say,
I
since
fail.
Thicket is willing, I will count this as 1 degree of success better
Okay.
than standard.
All right. Let's roll this. It's a 14.
A 14. And
Believe
what
it or
is-
not,
yes,
that's a failure.
that is indeed a failure. But because we're treating this as 1 degree of success better, that turns into a success.
Yes!
So
Oh!
where would you like to reposition? Which square would you like to reposition Thicket into?
Out! Like out here
That one?
somewhere.
All right. Thicket, you are pulled out. You are no longer immobilized.
You actually move him just 5 feet to the left of the mud.
Yeah. Hey.
Thicket, you are pulled from this strange mud.
FYI, I am literally 2'6". That's the best you're gonna get out of me. I'm 42 pounds. All right. There are
Wyatt,
many things.
You have 1 action remaining.
1 action remaining. I'm gonna try and I don't have 2 actions. Shit. Treated conditions 2 actions, right? It is.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Can I? If I retch, is that 1 action or 2 actions?
1 action.
I will retch.
Okay, make a fortitude save.
Nope, I'm still 17.
Nope, you are still definitely sick. All right, that brings us around to the top of round 9 with Brave Walker, who is going to go ahead and make a. Let's see, which spell is he going to use here? He is going to. His eyes begin to glow as Brokath once again begins to have his soul sort of wrenched from his body, but it seems more like younger versions of himself are being ripped out of his body instead. So he needs to make a fortitude save. Oof, that is a 20, which is a critical failure. And yeah, that was a 2 action. So he is going to become. He's already drained 1, so he's going to stay drained 1, and he's going to take. Holy shit. 54 points of void damage. Brokath is now firmly bloodied. And as his final action, Brave Walker is going to go for a dueling spear strike, which is bespelled. That is a 34 to hit Brokath. That is, in fact, a hit. That is going to be 26 points of damage to Brokath, who is getting even more further bloodied. Yalnus, your father is looking really messed up right now. That brings us now to the RNA Mauler who's been chasing you, who is going to continue chasing you, Yalnus. Gonna chase you up to there, and is going to make a longsword strike as their 1 action. Gonna go for a stab with that one. That is a natural 20.
Oh.
Well,
So
that,
they're gonna
that
get
will
a,
hit.
they're gonna get a crit card on you because they're a higher level than you. That was a piercing attack. Pierced elbow. The target drops 1 item it is holding, determined randomly by the GM. You are forced to drop your bow.
Yeah, okay.
As you take 40 points of piercing damage.
Youch.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a moment here.
And that is the end. As Yalnus is now bloodied, that is the end of that Mauler's turn, which brings us to Chief Brokath, who is going to whistle. And as he does, you all hear footfalls on snow as from over the hills come 2 saber-tooth riders. And from another hill comes Brokath's own Smilodon. So they are going to enter initiative on their own. Now, well, technically next round. So that brings us now. Oh yeah, Brokath has 2 actions remaining. So Brokath is then going to take a stride over to there, which the Mauler is going to follow. Brokath is then going to take an additional stride to over there, and is going to take a shot at the Mauler with the shield bow. That is going to be a 43 to hit. So it's a firm crit on that Mauler. So the Mauler takes 51 points of damage and is now bloodied. That brings us now to Thicket. You are no longer immobilized. You are still slowed and sickened.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try another wretch.
Okay, go ahead and make Fortitude save.
Please, for the love of God. 28.
Come on,
That's
that has to
unfortunately a
work. Come on.
failure.
No, what?
What did I roll? What did I roll there? I rolled a 6.
28.
You rolled 28. A 2-8, and you failed. What the?
Well, then I'm gonna shout to Wyatt. I need you to fix me up. I can get us out of here.
Oh.
And then Thicket is going to stride down here
Okay. Thicket strides down there.
and end me
Those
turn.
are your 2 actions. All right.
But
Well,
wait,
Cranberry
Cranberry-
is quickened. Yes.
Cranberry gets a will save.
Well, yeah, Cranberry does get a will save.
23.
That is not a success.
Son of a bitch.
That brings us now. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
That brings us now to Yalmas.
I mean, yeah, no.
Illness is going to. You know what? We're gonna go here, and we're gonna shoot at a Brave Walker.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I don't have my bow. Never mind.
That is correct.
I'm
Would you like
changing-
to say you use an action to pick up your bow?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. And unfortunately, you would have been pulled out of point blank stance by losing your bow.
That's unfortunate news. No, it's a 31.
31, which I believe is reduced due to volley.
Fuck, that's a 29.
29, which against Brave Walker is just barely a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. Okay. Brave Walker is now injured, turns to face you. You should not have done that, child. You have 1 action remaining, Yalnus. Oh, wait, never mind. Nope, you used all of your
That's
actions.
frightening.
Yeah, that's it. That brings us now to the Mauler, who was just attacked by Brokath, who's going to...
Nothing. If he didn't want to be shot, he maybe shouldn't have killed my people and started trying to murder my father, but whatever.
turn back towards Yalnus and stride towards them as Brokath shouts out, "No!" So,
Don't kill
Yalnus.
daughters, guys.
you have a long sword headed towards your face.
Yay.
That is a 36 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. In fact, it crits.
All right, you've got a critical hit coming right at you.
This might be the end of Yalnus.
44 points of damage.
Oh yeah, that's the end of Yalnus. Yalnus is down, bro.
Yalnus is firmly down to to dying 2 immediately, since that was a crit. And then that Mauler has 1 action remaining, which will be a spike gauntlet at Yalnus. That's going to be a 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Yalnus, your dying value increases by 1. That brings us now to Wyatt.
Yay!
I'm gonna try and burn a doctor's visitation by striding 25 feet and trying to get him to throw up whatever the fuck she cursed. This is not a spell effect. This is a curse. All right, it's literally a curse. It is impossible to throw off. It is literally going to kill us. All right. It is horrifying. Has Wyatt ever seen anything like this? It's a medicine check against his what?
Yes,
DC again?
Against
Okay,
the spell DC of
Oh
Cloudville.
my gosh. Okay. Am I allowed to risky surgery this?
I don't know. That is a good
No,
question,
let me
actually.
check. I want to see risky surgery because I trust Thicket entirely.
No, that's only treat wounds, unfortunately.
Damn it! No, that would be really funny if I could bracket you but heal you
I
perfectly
know.
fine. Like literally, like punch you in the stomach to make you puke. Sadly, no such good things.
Oh.
I hate
no.
this
That's a
game.
natural
I love the
one.
campaign. Hate the game. And I used my luck. Oh no. Okay.
Didn't you get an extra hero point?
Nope,
Oh, I
he chose
did.
the action instead.
Yeah, I chose the action instead.
So
Damn.
with a treat condition, that critical failure increases Thicket to sickened 3.
No.
It's still like really bad. Guys.
This
It's
is going
really
really bad.
Wyatt, as this happens, as he like tries his best and like hits him in the back, and Thicket swallows more shit, more of this garbage. Wyatt's just gonna look up at the sky. Are any of the moons open right now? Or he's gonna look up at the sky. It's mid-afternoon, right? I assume.
It is currently late afternoon.
Late afternoon. So is the sun setting right now, or is it summer or winter
sun-
right now?
It is currently spring.
Okay, so the sun setting technically.
The sun is on its way towards setting.
Okay. He's just gonna stare at the sun as Thicket gets his condition worsened, and Wyatt's just gonna be like, have a mild crisis of faith where he just says, I follow, I run, I help, I try, and yet everything seems to get fucked up even further.
That brings us
And
around the
that's
top of
his
round
enemy's
10
turn. Yeah.
with Chief Bravewalker, who is going to move over to Yalnus as one action. And as another action, is going to strike down at Yalnus with his dueling spear. That is a 36 to hit Yalnus.
Are you fucking getting that crit?
That does crit. So that will inflict a lovely little near-death injury.
Woo!
You take an internal injury. You take an internal injury, and your values will reset. So, let me just go ahead and
This
that
is
on you.
frightening.
So, you are going to reset to dying 3, actually, because that was a crit. Bravewalker has one action remaining, which he's going to use for another dueling spear strike on Yalnus. That is a 31.
Oh yeah, that crits.
It's another crit, so Yalnus is going to take another near-death injury. Yalnus gets, ignore this result and reroll on this table, taking both injuries. Yalnus takes 2 additional injuries. A head injury and a limp.
Ouch.
As Yalnus gets whacked in the head. And is
also
brought
the legs somehow.
right back up to dying 3. That brings us now to this RNA Mauler, who's going to stride over to Cranberry and is going to make a spike gauntlet strike as he attempts to wrench the Soul of Frost out of him. There's a 33 to hit Cranberry.
Oh, that hits, and in fact, that crits.
Okay. Then that is going to be 46 points of damage to Cranberry.
Oh, Lord.
Oh gosh.
Well, Thicket is now bloodied.
And this Mauler has one action remaining, which is going to go into another Spike Gauntlet strike at Cranberry. That is a 30.
That's another crit, yeah.
Okay.
I can't
Gregory
unsummon him.
Is going to take another 50 points of damage.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Thicket goes unconscious. Cranberry disappears. The Soul of Frost back into Thicket's chest. That was a critical hit. Thicket, you are now dying too immediately. Wyatt, you watch as Thicket just collapses in front of you.
Oh. Damn it.
That brings us now to one of the newly entered saber-tooth hunters on their cat. So he's going to start out by ordering the cat to make a little move there. Cat gets 2 actions, so he's going to move on over to the area of Yalnus. The rider is then going to scoop up Yalnus's body as one action. And as their other action is going to use the Clawed Gauntlet of their other hand to make a strike at Bravewalker. That's a 19, that's a miss. But Yalnus is now scooped up by this hunter and being carried away. That brings us to Brokath, who is going to, with an extreme fury, readjust hunted prey to this closer Mauler, and is going to make a hunter's aim strike against him with the shield bow. That is a 32 to hit, which is a critical hit. So this Mauler is going to take 47 points of damage and is now firmly even further bloodied, has several arrows sticking out of him. That brings us now to this other saber-tooth hunter here, who's going to order their cat to stride forward. To over there, and is then going to themselves make a Clawblade strike on Bravewalker. That is going to be a 27 to hit, which is a miss against Bravewalker. And they have one action remaining, which will go into another strike, which fails due to blur. So that brings us now to Yalnus. I need you to make a dying check. DC 13.
Dying check.
Oh, nice.
18. Your
18.
dying value is decreased by 1. You are now only dying 2. That brings us to
Look at me go.
this RNA Mauler, who is going to take a quick step and attempt to slash at the rider who just picked you up with their longsword. That is going to be a 19, which is just barely a hit on the rider. So that is going to be 17 points of damage to the rider. And actually, something I completely forgot is that Brokath's Smilodon is supposed to also get some actions here. So let me just real quick take those. Runs on over towards Brokath there. All right. And the Mauler is then going to take another longsword attack at the rider. That is a 29, which is a critical hit on the rider. So this rider takes 62 points of damage as he scoops Yelnus up and is immediately just cut in half, falling off the tiger, with Yelnus then falling back into the snow. That brings us to Wyatt.
Oh, he's gonna grit his teeth and he's gonna be super. He's gonna almost like tears freezing down his cheeks, and he's just gonna. He's gonna try and battle medicine this guy. This poor fucking Thicket on the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and treat wounds.
Treat wounds, there we go. Can I try a DC 20 on this?
Absolutely.
I will DC 20 this. This is a bad idea, but whatever. DC 20 roll. Oh yes!
You did
26.
it. All right. 2d8 plus. Wait, that's a. Yeah. 2d8 plus
Yeah,
10.
2D. Yeah. You will get not bad 23 hit points back.
All right,
Oh.
Thicket, you regain 23 hit points.
Ooh.
And that was one action from Wyatt, so you have one action remaining.
Oh gosh, can I try and drag maybe? Wait, no. While he's on the ground, I'm just so fucking desperate mode right now. I'm gonna try and treat condition again.
Treat
Can't
conditions,
get
2
worse.
actions.
2 actions.
You
I'm not
only
gonna
have
treat
one.
condition. I will. Why is everything 2 actions these days? Ah. Can I try dragging Thicket?
I would say you would be encumbered by Thicket's weight, which would give you a minus 10 foot penalty to your speed.
Okay, I could still drag him in that case 10 feet, so I'm gonna try and drag him with me 10 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, drag him 10 feet here.
Okay. You start dragging Thicket along as you are encumbered by his weight. No, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna say since you're dragging him, you're not outright encumbered. You're only encumbered while dragging him.
Okay.
So you're not clumsy currently. So that will bring us around to the top of round 11 with Chief Bravewalker. Who is going to go ahead and I see. All right. Is going to stretch out a hand, and this wall of mirrored time appears in front of you, Wyatt. This wall is 50 feet long, 20 feet high. So I need to real quick draw that. So 50 feet, up to 50 feet. So it is going to be... There's 50 feet. It's going to be right there in your path. All right. So that was one action, and then his final action is going to be a strike at the tiger next to him on the right that just attacked him. So that is going to be 36 to hit the tiger. That is a critical hit. So our friend the tiger is going to take 72 points of damage.
Goodbye.
That tiger
Those
is
are
immediately
endangered,
just chopped in half. And the rider falls to the ground. Let me see. I believe they get a reflex save. Yeah, they successfully roll off the tiger and are not prone. That is the end of Brave Walker's turn. That brings us now to Thicket. You are prone and being dragged along by Wyatt. What would you like to do, Thicket?
I'm being dragged.
Yeah.
Oh wait, notice that Hall of Mirrors has cut us off. Damn, nobody's your friend.
I still only have 2 actions, right?
Yup.
I'm gonna try to retch.
Okay.
Maybe it'll
That
work
fortitude
this
save.
time. That's a net
Oh
one.
no!
Fuck
Oh
me.
my
You
god.
almost saw. I saw that 19. You almost got that 19. Hey.
Oh my
hey,
god.
Colby. All right. 99% of gamblers quit before they hit it big. All right. You
have
almost
one
had a
action
19
remaining.
So does retching? I'm not. Okay.
You can do it
There.
again.
Keep right. Do it again.
I'm
Gamble.
gonna try
gamble,
it again. I'm gonna keep gambling.
Gamble. Oh, please.
29.
That's a failure. That's a failure.
No! Shut up!
Guys, it's so
Yep.
Jover.
It's so over. It's
That is
so
Thicket's
fucking
turn.
over.
That brings us now to this RNA Mauler, who is going to run down towards Thicket and Wyatt and is going to make a longsword strike against Thicket. That is a 22 to hit Thicket.
That's a what to hit Thicket?
22.
That hits, does not crit.
Okay. Thicket, you are going to take 24 points of slashing damage.
Ay caramba. I'm down again.
You're down again. Straight to dying 2. Thicket is not having a good time.
No, he's not.
Chief Brokath is up. First thing that's going to happen is he's going to command his mount. His mount is going to arrive and pick him up. So now Brokath is riding his Smilodon. They are then going to move in the direction of Yalnis, and Brokath is going to go for a... he's going to redirect Hunted Prey to Brave Walker, and is going to go for a shield bow strike. That is a 40 to hit Brave Walker, which is a firm crit. 37 points of damage to Brave Walker, who is still not even bloodied.
Oh my gosh.
That brings us now to the Hunter, who is just dismounted, who's going to pull out their sling as an action, and is going to toss a sling bullet at Brave Walker. That's a 19. That is a miss against Brave Walker. I'm going to use their final action to reload. That brings us now to Yalnis. I need you to make a dying check, please. DC 12. Nat 20.
That's a nat 20.
All right.
Oh. Welcome
you
back.
are now... I gotta double check again. But, let's see. I believe... that means... Let's see. Okay, your dying value is reduced by 2. Yes. So your dying condition is reduced by 2. And I'm going to say you wake up because that was a nat 20. It's not raw, but I'm going to say you wake up with 1 hit point. So you'll be able to take a turn next round. That brings us now to the Mauler right next to you, who is focused on the giant tiger. Going to make a longsword strike. That's a 28, which is a hit on the tiger. 22 points of damage to the tiger there. Gonna go for another longsword strike. That's a nat 1.
Oh.
Card number 52, melee strike. Go for the eyes.
Asshole.
This guy is now dazzled until the end of his next turn. So everything is now concealed to him. He's going to go for another longsword strike. First needs to make that check. Fails the dazzle check. Waste that action. That brings us now to Wyatt. What would you like to do?
Can I append something? Append something to perhaps an ability I have?
Possibly.
Interesting.
Let's say the gift of life. Can that heal all conditions too?
Let's see. The gift of life.
For the last stand.
No, yeah, I think that can heal conditions. I
Okay,
would say.
okay. I'm going to literally Wyatt's gonna look at the sun, and he's gonna just close his eyes, and he's gonna clench his right hand in a fist, and he's gonna send as much divine energy through his right hand, and have it glow like the sun gold, and he's gonna just stick it straight into his neck. And as he drags out a glowing chunk of his own soul, he's gonna just slam it down in the thicket on the ground. He's gonna use the first rank of his last stand, the
Okay.
gift of life.
Oh my god.
All right. So, Thicket will get healing equal to your level times 1d10 plus your level times 10. So that will be 6
Hey.
times 1d10 plus 60.
D10.
And Thicket is healed from Sickened, which means he's also
Can
healed
I-
from Slowed, and
Okay.
Wyatt becomes Spent.
So 6 times 1d10, right? Or 5.
Yes.
No, it's my level.
Your level times 1d10.
I'm level 5. Oh, I'm level 6. Yeah, I
Yep.
forgot. 1d10
So
plus
6 times 1d10 plus
60.
60.
Can I also do something funny and heal this this Mauler as well, just to shock him, like
You
shock
can
him into being like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Would he be considered an ally to you right now?
I'm doing it for the shock factor. Does that
If
count?
you want to do that, you can.
I'm hoping that it's such like a shock to him that it's gonna give him a bit of a moment of reflection, you know, like maybe a round to really think about what he's doing, and the fact he's killing his own kid.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna do that because also I
Okay.
think it'd be funny if we did that and then we just left, you know.
Okay, go ahead and
So
roll.
so everybody, I would say, and kind of in a very crazy blow, is healed 90 hit points.
Okay, so everyone within 30 feet, which I believe is just the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the two of them. So, Thicket, you regain 90 hit points, as does this Mauler.
Also, I will say, does this count as a spell? Because does energize healing
I would say
count?
yes.
So you get
Yes.
45 stamina back too.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
So, Thicket, you're suddenly feeling pretty good.
I feel
Wyatt!
great.
You're
What's
feeling
my
a little
health
tired. Well, your health should be at... Well, you got 90 HP, 45 stamina.
Okay.
You're back to like full, right?
Almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Do I heal myself
So-
too? Does that count?
No, that does not
Oh,
heal you.
okay.
That was a
All
free
right.
action, however.
Oh shit!
So you still have both of your actions.
I am going to Both
And
my
you know what?
actions.
This Mauler actually does seem taken aback by what just happened.
Nice. I'm doing this for the comedy. But Wyatt sees that he's taken aback. Does he look like he's still ready to fucking kill us both, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Fear the Sun on him. So.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try and blind him. I'm like, you're better. Be better. You can't see, and he's gonna try and.
So
try
is that
and
an attack
make-
roll from you or a saving throw?
It's a saving throw.
All right, Fortitude.
Yes, Fortitude.
All right,
I'm casting that. I should say cast it. There we go.
that is going to be a 30.
Oh, if critical success. He does not feel anything.
Okay.
I'm throwing shit at the wall right now. All right. This is the D&D equivalent. I'm sorry, the Pathfinder equivalent, just throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks.
Okay. That brings us around to the top of round 12 with Brave Walker,
Oh my
who is going to turn his attention now to this poor saber-tooth hunter. Take a step and is going to make a dueling spear strike against him. That's a 31, which is a critical hit. 64 points of damage, instantly decapitates this hunter. Another dueling spear strike against the tiger. 25 to hit. That is a successful hit on that tiger. 29 points of damage. The tiger is now firmly bloodied. So, Thicket, you're up.
Thicket, you got our way out of this, right? Right? Colby, you
Uh,
have the thing
well,
in the card.
Well, now that Thicket has all of his actions back, he is still prone though.
Yes.
Which is a shame. However, we can work with that. Thicket is going to cast Wall of Water.
Okay. What does Wall of Water do?
Oh boy, it does a lot. You call a massive wave onto the battlefield, stays upright in a straight line that is 60 feet long, 10 feet high, and 5 feet thick. Non-magical fires within the wall are put out. Bludgeoning or slashing projectiles can't pass through the wall. Piercing projectiles have their range increments halved that they pass through. A creature traversing the wall of water needs to swim through, and the rules of aquatic combat apply.
I see.
All
All right, so why don't you go ahead and draw a 60-foot line wherever you want this wall.
Yep. That is going to be... Oh, not there. Oh, not there. Shit, hang on. There.
Okay.
Which
So
would
you
catch that non-ton guy in it.
Yes, you summon this wall of water, which does in fact catch this non-time mauler. All right. So he's technically now underwater, and there is that wall of water between you and everyone else. That was all three of your actions. So that brings us now to the mauler, who is going to... Let me just look up the rules for aquatic combat real quick, because apparently that's what I need right now.
Wait, he's wet,
Aquatic.
and it's like below freezing. Oh my gosh, he's totally gonna
Yep.
die of hypothermia. Oh shit.
Let's see.
Hopefully he's happy that I healed him, you know? We're friends.
Let's see. Let's see.
Maybe he's gonna take us alive. Ha
Um,
ha ha.
You know what? see.
Do not have a swim speed.
He definitely does not have a swim speed, but
Oh, no.
I don't think this actually has anything to do with, like, attacks.
Aquatic combat? No.
Aquatic combat has, like, nothing to do with... Oh, wait. Aquatic combat rules for attacks apply when... What does that... Can you give me the aquatic combat rules, please?
I think there was a was it a door monster skit about
There we go.
Pathfinder?
Here we go.
And then one of the memes was like, oh, there's a minor thing that came from combat. Let me search up the rules for it, right?
Yeah. All right, here we go. So, okay. There we go. Well, none of it would apply anyways because this guy's sword is able to make piercing attacks, so takes no penalties as he makes a longsword strike against Thicket.
Damn.
Oh, you bastard.
That's a 32 to hit.
That is probably a crit. Let me see.
You're prone, right?
I am prone.
Yeah, that's a crit.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's a crit.
All right, Thicket. 50 points of damage.
Oh, I'm so glad I picked you up with that.
Yeah, thank God.
And this Mauler is then going to... He's just going to go for another longsword strike at Thicket. That's a nat 1.
Oh! Oh my
Crit
god.
fumble. Card number 17. Melee. Until healed, you're enfeebled 2.
Oh.
Get fucked.
Wait,
so
is swimming an athletics check?
it is.
Oh my god, he's gonna drown.
Fucking drown in this. Oh no.
So he's gonna go for one more longsword strike against Thicket. 20 to hit.
That does actually hit.
All right. Normal damage. 26 points of damage.
Oh, come on, you're still
Could
up
be
with
worse.
that. Come on, you're up.
That will bring us now to Brokath, who is going to have a Smilodon move over to here, gingerly pick up Yalnus in its mouth. Then Brokath himself is going to fire a shot at Bravewalker. That is a miss, followed by another shot at Bravewalker. That is another miss, and that is his turn. That brings us now to Yalnus, who is currently awake. Yalnus, you've been picked up by your father's Smilodon.
Father and daughter bonding time.
I don't think there's much that I can do from the mouth of the Smilodon.
I mean, you do still have your weapons, so if you wanted to make an attack, you could. But, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that would just alert people to the fact that I'm alive, and then Bravewalker would start trying to stab me again.
You may play dead if you wish.
Yeah, I would love to play dead. That
All
sounds
right.
excellent.
That'll bring us to the smaller, who is still dazzled. Who's going to swing blindly at this tiger. Fails. 3 failed dazzle checks in a row.
No.
All 2s and 3s. That brings us now to Wyatt.
Damn.
Wyatt's gonna just look at Thicket and he's gonna say 6 words. We are running. And he casts a 1-action heal.
Okay.
Let me cast that. I'm gonna cast a 1-action heal on him. So it's a heal at touch because he's right next to him.
All right.
Heal, 1 action, roll damage and healing. Oh, there's so many menus here. Not damage roll, no. I guess it is. Yeah, it is the damage. Okay.
It is technically a damage roll, yeah.
Yeah, it's roll damage. You get 15 hit points back.
And I believe that also would give you 7 stamina.
Exactly, get 7 stamina as well. And then I'm gonna stride
shit.
by 25 feet out to here, away
Okay.
from the giant wall of mirrors.
Okay. That
Don't
brings
take
us
the
now
damage,
to the
please.
top of round 13 to Chief Bravewalker, who's going to attempt to hit this big cat next to him. Yeah, that's a solid hit on the poor tiger. Solid critical hit. That tiger takes 64 points of damage and is dead as shit. Bravewalker is then going to take another action to stride over. Is actually going to completely ignore. Yeah, he's actually going to completely ignore Brokath and is going to move up towards the wall of water as one action, and as action 2 is going to stride into the wall of water. That's where he ends his turn. So that brings us now to that mauler right next to Thicket, who's holding his breath at this point, is going to attempt to strike with the longsword, piercing attack. That is a 22 to hit Thicket.
That does hit, does not crit.
My God.
Right.
It's gotta get back to my turn and we can fucking
Thicket
run.
is 24 hit points taken from you.
Jesus.
And
Please,
this guy
please,
is
please,
going
please.
to take another longsword strike.
Come on,
Thicket.
come on. Oh.
That's a 13.
Oh,
that
fails.
All right. This guy seems to take that as a sign and is going to attempt to swim out.
Has
going
this guy
to-
ever swam before in his entire life?
You have no idea, but probably not. He's going to swim out of the wall of water. That is now going to bring us to Chief Brokath's turn. Brokath, along with his Smilodon and Yalnis, are going to move off in a northern direction. A northwestern direction, specifically. And Brokath is going to fire behind him at that RNA. Yeah, that's a solid critical hit on that Mauler. 40
Oh my
points of
God.
damage to the Mauler. The Mauler is still just bloodied.
Oh gosh.
That brings us now to Yalnis. Yalnis, is there anything you'd like to do or say as you're being carried away by your father?
No, I'm just gonna
You're
simmer
still-
in the shame of my failures.
Aw.
Fair enough. That brings us now to that Mauler, who's going to actually try to chase after you
Oh no.
and is going to take a longsword strike at Brokath.
Oh, what?
Why are we allowed no peace?
25 to hit Brokath is not a hit. That brings us now to Thicket. What would you like to do, sir?
First, get up.
All right, one action to get up.
Second, that's going to be a. Let's go with. The last shield on self.
Interesting.
Huh.
Third action, stride to get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
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 That brings us now to Wyatt.
Wyatt's gonna spend all 2 of his actions. I think he has to spend both of his actions to get out of here. So he goes 50 feet.
50 feet.
50 feet can go south.
50 feet.
like,
Yeah, that'll get you off the board and out of the fight.
I'm off the board and out of the fight.
All right, Wyatt, you get yourself off the board and out of the fight.
Okay. Can I
That
still be on the
brings
board to
us-
see how this turns out?
Oh yeah.
Can I, as a player, I want to know. I'm sorry, the drama's
That brings
too
us
heavy.
now to Brave Walker, who is going to take an action to pull himself to swim out of the water, take another action. He's going to take another action. Thicket, you don't know exactly what he's doing, but you feel something very wrong with the time around you.
No. God fucking damn it.
As you hear Brave Walkers say, "You have made your choice, and for that, you shall be hunted. There is nowhere you can hide from the RNA and from the destiny of the Soul of Frost." That brings us now to Brokath, who is going to ride a Smilodon along with Yalnis off the board and out of combat. The Mauler stops chase. Thicket, that brings us to you.
Stride.
All right. Do you stride off the board?
I stride off the board.
All right, you stride off the board. Brave Walker seems not to give chase in this moment. That is the end of combat after 14 rounds.
Fucking
Oh my
hell.
gosh.
I think those might have
Thank
been some of the
Christ.
worst rolls I've ever gotten in the
Pretty damn
history
bad.
of playing any sort of RPG.
Those were pretty
this
damn
was
bad.
not our greatest moment.
It
No.
really wasn't.
This really was live from Dice Jail.
It really was. So we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, understandable.
Yalnis, how are you feeling?
Well, all of the people under my command died, and I'm in the mouth of a tiger, so not great.
Entirely understandable, honestly. Wyatt, how are you feeling?
He's very sick, and he feels fucking awful for
Yeah.
basically nobody, a cleric with no god dragging his ass out of the fire at this point.
And Thicket, how are you feeling?
Well, I abandoned my people, and then I abandoned the people that I abandoned my people for. So I'm having a bit of an identity crisis.
Look, we're playing the quadruple agent, aka like no side whatsoever, right? It's the Joker route, right? No,
Hey, to be fair, you do definitely have one group of people who you are not working for.
That's true.
This is
That's
true.
And
You very
do have
definitely
another
are
group of
not
people who
working
are
for
like,
Cloud
well,
Bills.
fuck you, now you're gonna be hunted.
Yeah.
So
Good
whether
news.
you're not you're on the Sabretooth side is up in the air.
Yeah, I think we're pretty neutral to the Sabretooths.
Hey, I just realized something. Out of all the conflicts that could have went down, we're actually pretty neutral with mostly everybody. Like, it could have
You
been
really
so
are.
much worse.
You really are. Really the only proper enemies you've made at this point. Like, the Cloud Veils are a full-on proper enemy at this point.
Yeah, that's
Um,
it. That's nice, right?
But, like, Brave Walker isn't giving chase right now.
Yeah.
So, take that how you will. And, how are we all feeling as players? Besides tired.
I mean, I'm in a lot of pain, but that's not your fault.
Yeah.
Colby, you go first.
It was
I
a
have
lot.
a theory. I have a theory. I'm sorry.
I want to hear your theory.
Hey, Thicket traveled to the future through time, right? We are stuck here because of some weird time travel thing. Who is the one person we have met in our adventures who can manipulate time?
That's an interesting thought.
Jantique.
Not just John
And
T.
so can... Oh, fuck you.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you realize this, but that Brave Walker, he's very powerful. He can control time. I'm
yeah,
not
Brave
gonna
Walker's
say
a little
anything.
absurdly strong.
Yeah, I'm not Cam. And this is just a theory, right? Matt Pat style, just a theory.
Mm-hmm.
But some things are adding up, right? That I don't want to add up, but they are adding up, and I don't like that. And I gotta really think about this. All right. Huh.
So Colby, did you also have a theory?
No.
Maybe.
I think I subconsciously made that connection though. That kind of makes sense.
Maybe your gut feeling of not trusting him was the best decision we could have made this session.
Yeah, I think I gotta agree with you.
Yeah.
Very
Oh, yeah.
interesting. Very, very interesting.
Don't
All
say
right.
that, Cam. Shut up.
And well, that is where we're gonna end tonight's session.
No.
We want to give a special shout out to our first member on Buy Me a Coffee, Jane Meyer. Thank you so much for your support, Jane. It really means the world.